Hey there, Harold. So another set of essays from you. Great work. Let's see what you said. Okay, your first essay is a letter regarding the surprise birthday party you were throwing. Okay, let's see. You're supposed to talk about these three things here. Dear John, I am organizing a birthday party for Paul, whom you know from our grammar class, and I'd be happy if you'd also join us. As you know, Paul had some issues with depressive feelings. Okay, don't forget there's an E at the after depressive, because of missing his family since he attends our school. Therefore, Iris and I, grammatically correct, thought it would be a good idea to surprise him with that party. We plan, okay, feast is E-A-S-T. If you want to say fest, you could say just F-E-S-T, but I don't really care for that word. I think it's a little unnatural sounding. So we plan the festivities, is another way you could have said this, for next Saturday, the 6th of May. We want to start at 7 p.m. In order to surprise Paul and give him a big cheer, it would be great if, no comma, it would be great if you could be at my house about 30 minutes in advance at about 6:30 p.m. There is no special theme to the party, so just feel free to come casual. To keep costs low, we suggest that everybody adds to the party what is possible for him. Alright, that's a little awkward. So let's say, to keep costs low, we suggest that everybody brings whatever is convenient. Okay? Iris wants to bring a salad. I will bring the beer. So it would be awesome if you could bring some bread to make it a perfect evening. By the way, I was told that your music taste is great. Could you bring us a USB stick with your music to the party? That would be great. Thank you, and I hope to see you on Saturday. Okay, this should be a full stop. Yours is fine. Harry is fine, so that's all fine. It was good. I enjoyed it. I liked it. Little things like spelling and so forth, little like commas and things like that, but nothing really, really serious. Let's look at your task 2, which is about becoming dependent on computers. Let's see, what do you think they will be used for in the future? First question. Second question is this a good thing, or should we be suspicious of the benefits? Okay, very interesting topic. Let's see what you said. Computers have become a widespread part of our life. They change the everyday life in a rapid, unthinkable pace, and will do so most probably in the future. Many people rely on their help, but forget about get rid of upcoming. Forget about disadvantages which could counteract the recent benefits. This essay will discuss future implications of the use of a computer and provide examples from medicine and automotive mobility, to show also the disadvantages of depending on technical help too much. Okay, so what's going on here is that you've got a couple of areas where the word choice is a little inaccurate. So, where was that? Automotive mobility was awkward, and there was something else. Here it is, upcoming disadvantages. I think you mean imminent or possible or potential. Okay, but definitely not upcoming. So it's a problem with word choice. You're close, but your collocations are just not completely accurate, okay? All right, let's see. Okay, fine. So let's move on. First of all, we have to confess, again, wrong word. We have to admit that many parts of our daily life have benefited from the help of computers. If we take a closer look into the field of medicine, or if we have we don't really have, we say have a look, but yeah, I guess take a look into the field of medicine, for instance. We can easily combine the different information of several specialists and will more easily find the right diagnosis for the patient. How are computers helping that? I mean, where do computers fit in? Can't you just, if you're a doctor, can't you just open a bunch of books and do that? So explain to me how this is related to computers. Don't forget to bring in that element. No matter how self-explanatory you think it might seem, you really do have to make it crystal clear for the examiner that this can only be done with the help of computers. Okay, today the general practitioner has to do that integrating work. Again, this is awkward integrating work, but you don't start sentences with but, never. Okay, if you want to show some sort of contrast, you can start with something like however or yet, never but. Okay, there are already 1L efforts to give that part of work fully to okay, here he mentioning computers. However, there are already efforts to give this aspect of the work to a computer program completely or fully in order to be more effective. Another use in medicine will be the robotic surgery in the future. If we have a look in other directions, we will have automotive driving of our cars in most probably only a few years. Okay, that's definitely underdeveloped. You spent a lot of time talking about this thing about medicine, and then really, really fast you just mentioned cars. So you have to go into that. You have to give an explanation and an illustration of it, a little more detail. Let's see. And I wouldn't even have mentioned this thing about robotic surgery. You either should have developed it more fully or just not mentioned it. So anytime you have a main idea, and here it looks like you have 3 main ideas. So you have, well, kind of 3. Yeah, I guess. So you have this idea of using computers to diagnose a patient. You have this idea about robotic surgery, also in medicine. And then you have this thing about automatically driven cars. And they're all lovely ideas, but if you don't support them, they're just not helping you. So only stick to the ideas that you could actually support, okay? All right, let's move on. And again, I don't care for this automotive driving. That it's not a collocation. It doesn't work. I think you mean driverless cars. So yes, okay. All those examples show that the general dependence on computers will grow, but no but. So, however, despite the obvious advantages, there are also some concerns related to that dependence. First of all, if we stay general, not really great expression. First of all, generally speaking, dependence without having our own individual and independent solutions is never a positive with an E thing from a psychological point of view with an H. If careful, we want to be more specific and relate to the above. Careful, what's going on with the spelling? With the above said, comma, it is not a perfect solution to get a diagnosis from a computer program or from an algorithm, careful with your spelling, from the internet. The personal relationship between doctor and patient is essential for the healing process. Therefore, it could be very harmful for the future if we rely too much on that technique. This is nice. I liked all of this here. This thing about the personal relationship, so forth and so forth. I liked all of that. The language was nice. It flowed. It felt very natural. So good. To summarize the arguments, I think it will be essential in the future to balance use of computers. Careful. This is also awkward. Balance the use of computers. Yeah, I don't know how to rephrase this because I'm not really sure what you're trying to say. To balance the use of computers with other methods for our benefit, maybe something like that. Individual decisions, personal relationships, and exceptions with a C from strict rules will hopefully stay an important part of our life in the future. Okay. All right. So like we said, like I already said many times throughout this essay, a lot of the writing is good. Some of it's a little awkward. Some of it is using wrong collocations. So I want you to be a little careful about that. If you're not sure if words collocate, it's really easy to just look up on the internet how the word is used. So, for example, what was it? Like upcoming disadvantages. There are a couple things you could do. You could write in Google, for example, whatever search engine you use, you could say disadvantages, collocations, and then there are dictionaries, there's places where you can look up how to use the word, or you can just type in the combination itself, like upcoming disadvantages, and see, do you get many hits for it? So those are a couple of ways. I prefer the first way because just because something gets a lot of hits, it doesn't mean that it's accurate. So give that a shot, okay? Your structure is good. You answered the question, which is exciting. That's really nice. Let's see. Okay, what things will they be used for in the future? Okay. So how much did you really mention? Yeah, you mentioned the cars, you mentioned the medicine. You know what the problem is that I really wanted maybe also for you to develop this more about in the future. So this thing about integrating through programs, is this happening now or is this going to happen in the future? So remember, you always have to tie in, when you're writing, you always have to have, like, hand in hand with your writing, the prompt and the elements of the prompt that they want you to focus on. All right, so, yeah, you could have been a little fuller with your task achievement, with your topic development, okay? topic development in order to get a good score for task achievement. So that for me is the area that you need to work on. Topic development, okay, in order to get a good task achievement score, and also your vocabulary. Keep on writing, and I think we've got more essays from you. I'm pretty sure we do. So keep on writing, and I will wait to see what you write next. Good luck.